so beautiful.
How Donald Trump became president. Imagine being told that you have almost no chance of becoming president of the United States. Now imagine actually winning. Then, 4 years later, losing the presidency. And somehow coming back and winning it again. That is the story of Donald Trump. His journey wasn't simple. It was filled with huge rallies, political battles, controversy, defeat, and an assassination attempt that shocked the entire country. So how did Donald Trump manage to reach the White House not once, but twice? Is he the most hated president of USA? People think the main reason he won was the bullet fired on his election campaign. But that's not it.
Chapter 1. Before politics. Before Donald Trump became president, most Americans knew him as a businessman and television personality. For years, Trump had talked about American politics and had even considered running for president. But in 2015, he finally decided to do it. On June 16, 2015, Trump officially announced that he was running for president. His campaign focused on immigration, jobs, trade, and changing the way Washington worked. And he had a slogan that quickly became one of the most recognizable political slogans in America: "Make America Great Again." At first, many people didn't take his campaign seriously, but Trump understood something very well: how to get people's attention. His rallies became huge. His speeches were constantly on television, and every time Trump said something controversial, millions of people were talking about it. Slowly, the candidate many people had underestimated became one of the biggest names in the Republican race. Chapter 2. Trump takes over. The Republican race. Trump wasn't the only Republican who wanted to become president. There were many experienced politicians competing against him, but as the primary elections continued, Trump kept winning. One by one, his opponents dropped out. Eventually, Trump had secured enough support to become the Republican Party's presidential nominee. Now there was only one major opponent standing between him and the White House: Hillary Clinton. Chapter 3. The election that shocked America. The 2016 election was unlike anything many Americans had seen before. Trump presented himself as a political outsider. He promised to shake up Washington and argued that the country needed major changes. Hillary Clinton, meanwhile, had decades of political experience and had previously served as Secretary of State. The campaign became extremely intense. Then came November 8, 2016, election night. Millions of Americans watched the results come in. As the night continued, Trump won several important states, and eventually the numbers became clear. Donald Trump had won enough electoral college votes to become the next president of the United States. The businessman and television personality whom many people had dismissed as a candidate had actually won. On January 20, 2017, Donald Trump became the 45th president of the United States. Chapter 4. 4 years later. But Trump's story didn't stop there. In 2020, Trump ran for re-election against Democrat Joe Biden. This time, Trump lost. Joe Biden became president, and Trump left the White House in January 2021. For many politicians, losing a presidential election might have been the end of their political career. For Trump, it wasn't. He remained one of the most influential figures in American politics, and then he decided to try again. Chapter 5. The Comeback. In 2024, Donald Trump launched another campaign for president. This time, he wasn't an outsider trying to prove himself. He was a former president trying to return to the White House. The campaign was already attracting enormous attention. But then something happened that nobody expected. On July 13, 2024, Trump was speaking at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, when shots were fired. Trump was injured in the ear and quickly taken away by security. The FBI investigated the shooting as an assassination attempt. The incident shocked the United States and became one of the most dramatic moments of the entire campaign. Trump survived and continued campaigning. Chapter 6. Another election. As the campaign continued, Trump eventually faced Democratic nominee Kamala Harris. The election took place on November 5, 2024, and once again, Trump surprised the political world. Trump won the election with 312 electoral college votes, compared with Harris's 226. This time, Trump also won the national popular vote. After losing the presidency in 2020, he had managed to come back 4 years later and win it again. Chapter 7. Back to the White House. On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States. His comeback was historic. He became the first president since Grover Cleveland to win 2 presidential terms that were separated by another president. Think about the journey. In 2015, Trump was a businessman entering politics. In 2016, he shocked the country by winning the presidency. In 2020, he lost. Then in 2024, he came back. He survived an assassination attempt during his campaign, continued campaigning, defeated Kamala Harris, and returned to the White House. Whether you support Donald Trump or strongly disagree with him, his political journey is one of the most remarkable comebacks in modern American politics. And that's the story of how Donald Trump became President of the United States, twice.
Right now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency. The business tycoon and TV personality capping his improbable political journey with an astounding upset victory. Donald J. Trump will become the 45th president of the United States, defeating Hillary Clinton in a campaign unlike anything we've seen in our lifetime. Donald Trump wins the presidency of the United States. He is now going to be called President-elect Donald Trump. He's walking up right now. You see him right there. He's going to be speaking momentarily. He's got his wife there. History has been made. Jake, this is a moment a lot of people are going to remember.